Hey guys, how's it going? I am coming to you live from Porterville College. I wanted to go over. Okay, we're on class. This class. I wanted to go over the beginner, the brief, and kind of go over last week and apologize as well for not having the right link. So I wanted to just kind of talk about the brief and talk to you about what it is that you're doing in this class because I think it was a little confusing and I always like to do a video and I didn't have time this last week, but I do now. So we're a little bit behind, but it doesn't matter because each week you're going to be building on your brief, okay? So there are three things that you need to know from this. A creative brief is something that happens at the beginning of a project. A project statement is something that happens after the project, and the case study is what we're going to be doing, which is the whole project. And that's what we're going to look at today. So creative brief defines intent before work begins. So, and you should have watched the video briefly. And so I want you to think about something that you want to, something that you like. First of all, pick something that you like pick a couple people are doing like a card shop and then in town because they like to play games. And then other people are doing like a coffee shop because they like coffee. So pick something that you can find around you that needs a website or an app. And I don't care if you do a website or an app. It doesn't matter. But pick something either it doesn't exist. Like don't try to do Starbucks. Okay, like Starbucks has all the money. Don't try to reinvent Amazon or eBay or any of these places that have all the money. You want to do something very rudimentary and basic so then you look like you're a baller. Does that make sense? So when you are picking your creative brief and what your project is for this class for the next 10 weeks, I want you to kind of think about, or 9 weeks. I want you to think about what you like to design for. I once had a student do a zoo. They did like the zoo in their town. Because I've taught this class for like over 10 years in many different cities, online, in Seattle, and now here at Porterville College. So anyway, so pick something that you really like and that you want to design for. Don't pick something that you don't like. So a creative brief is basically a few different things. It provides an overview of the project. It defines your target audience. Who are you designing for? Are you designing for little kids? Are you designing for 18 to 25-year-olds? Are you designing for people that are in their 50s? Who are you designing for? A grandpa. And try to be really to the point on it. Don't just say ages 3 to 99. Like that's too generic. We need a target audience. That helps us brand and create key messages for designing. And then any specific requirements that you have, like to get the goal achieved. Right now, it could just be, I want to create a website for Stafford chocolates. They don't have an app. I want to create an app for Staffords. So doing something like that is totally great. And that's all you can say. That's all I want. And I want it on a slide to make it look slick. Okay. So I want it to look a little bit like the one I posted. Where did I post it? I posted it in the section here. I think I even put it into yeah, I did. So this was last year. I had a student do the copy center in town and it just made it look pretty, right? He has his target audience, people that need printing services. And then he has his objectives, which I would like you to define maybe a little bit more. But he has his objectives, which is to create a nice website for the copy center. And then he has his obstacles because, FedEx and other things. And think about this. You're going to be kind of building it into your, each week we're going to build into our case study, right? So this is the very first in many other documents that are going to go down. And I'd like you to start in Figma, but if you're afraid to get into Figma, we'll start working in Figma in a few weeks for good. That's when we'll start prototyping. But they do have a lot of different templates, and I apologize for giving you the wrong link for that template. But yeah, so I'm just looking for one slide with your target audience and your objectives. Let's go back to the creative brief lecture because I wanted to give it a little bit more time here. So So now we know what you want. Now you know what I want. So creative brief, just to define it further, is basically the blueprint or the roadmap that aligns the vision with the goals. Its purpose is to guide decisions before the creative work starts. And say like you are a big company, right? And you do have a team. It helps everybody stay on task and on board. And a lot of times you aren't the only one who's the designer. You are working with a group. So it helps everyone stay like, okay, so these are the questions I want you to ask yourself. Who is this for? Who are the audience? What is the objectives? Why are we doing it? Because Stafford's needs an app. That's why. They don't have an app and people have asked for it. And how? What is the medium? What's the timeline? So those are the questions to ask. And then in a project statement, you define the company and the problem and what happened, and then the answer. But the case study this is the very first step in our case study. This next week is competitive analysis. So we're going to go in and we're going to find like 3 different competitors. I think James came to me and said that he's going to do Stafford's that doesn't have an app, right? And then he's going to compare Starbucks app. He's going to compare maybe Dutch Bros app. And what was the third one we came up with? I think maybe the Human Bean. I can't remember what the third one was. Or Dunkin' Donuts. Some bigger, huge company that has a lot of money to put into apps. And he's going to compare and contrast them. So that's what you're doing for this part of the second part of the case study. But for today, I just want you to look at this, understand the life cycle of a project, right? And we're going to get to the case study at the end. That's what our goal is. So in a quick comparison, the creative brief is before the project starts and it defines the goals. And I just want one slide and it just is a sweet little beginning so I know what you are doing. Because I can't have you, like I said, design for Amazon because you're not ready yet. And I'm honestly not ready yet either to critique that for you. So we want to keep it simple, right? Keep it simple, stupid. The KISS principle. I always say that in all of my design classes. Keep it simple and stupid. So some visual hierarchy tips, use strong headers and consistent spacing, highlight key terms, keep paragraphs short. You don't need a lot of text. Use visuals to show thinking. And then it matters because documenting your work makes you look like a design thinker. And that's what I'm looking for. And that's what's going to look good on your portfolio. So writing and design go hand in hand and both tell your story as a professional designer. And that's the goal of this class. By the end of this class is for you to have a full case study that starts from the beginning, takes you to the end of a story of design, right? A design story. Okay? All right. So I hope that kind of clears things up and questions. And, feel free to message me. I'm always here for online, or I'm here physically as well at Porterville College. So come say hi. All right. See you soon. Bye.